Hello, my name is Jose Navarrete and I am one of the creators and founders of the iMarina service platform. First of all, I want to thank you for the invitation to this event. In my opinion, one of the most important in terms of information systems, and at the same time also thank you for giving us the opportunity to show you what we do. iMarina, what is it or what are we? iMarina is a technology consultancy whose objective is to provide institutions with tools that facilitate the collection, management, and dissemination of technological and teaching research activity. And to do this, we have developed a set of solutions that focuses on a platform, available in cloud mode, that tries to cover the different aspects involved in its management. What is iMarina's inspiration? What are the key differentiating elements of our solution? Let me first show you the principles, almost from a philosophical point of view, to which we adhere. First, you have created a faceted data model for the storage structure. That is, a faceted and non-analytical data model. The system should include everything that can be considered as a tangible or intangible result, coming from research, technological or teaching activity. Curricular expressions evolve and are increasingly heterogeneous and inclusive. At the same time, more and more standards are being applied that try to present all this diversity of results in a homogeneous way, especially when it comes to interoperability between systems. In this sense, it is more feasible with a faceted model, a model that allows it to be based on a set of common properties that are combined according to a specific synthesis and semantics for the storage of information at each precise moment. This will allow us to continuously analyze the new forms and new contents of the results from the activities of researchers and teachers that are emerging, going beyond the limited taxonomies of specific purpose systems such as CRIs, biographical sources, institutional repositories, etc., and of course, to be alert and to be able to create, model and adapt new types of results in an agile, fast, and personalized way. Second, assume the role of aggregator that must be enriched with each information collection process. Any data or information of interest that is already digitized and accessible must be collected with the least human intervention. In addition, the collection and import processes must be accompanied by logics aimed at maintaining priority policies for the enrichment and updating of information, especially that which affects the information that already exists in the system, avoiding duplication, but trying to add qualities and attributes from different sources, which will provide us with a more complete and therefore more unique record than the original. On the other hand, the aggregator must be flexible and open to incorporating new mechanisms for importing objects from new sources as they appear. Not only can we consider protocolized environments and generalized standards, the casuistry goes much further. The third guiding principle in our philosophy is adaptation to existing workflows. We must not impose our vision as a single rigid solution. iMarina does not come as a one-size-fits-all solution that tries to replace the processes and tools already in place in the institution. Although we have a platform that can act as an integrated system that covers all aspects of research management, iMarina will be incorporated as much as possible to be able to add and improve what already works. iMarina will identify the aspects that need improvement and complete the process flows of the institution itself, adapting and assuming the most appropriate role at all times. And fourthly, and finally, as an inspiring principle, is to have created a collaborative space for the exchange of experiences. iMarina provides a collaborative space where good practices will be shared between the different actors who pursue the same goal in relation to research management. The iMarina platform is an application that is offered in cloud mode, that is, providing the environments required for SaaS solutions and offering server hosting. With this, both the technical requirements necessary for the correct access and use of the platform are guaranteed, as well as all the legal precepts in relation to security, data protection, secure armative, and general legislation. In this context, it is easy for iMarina to present the evolutions of versions as a shared creation, where new developments, new operations, functionalities that may have originated in the need or idea of a specific client, of a specific institution, are offered and shared by the other centers. Thus, iMarina's core process and functional analysis can be said to be shared because in some way they belong to everyone. Now we'll move on to see how we make these inspiring principles that we discussed earlier in the app itself possible. I mean, let's see how iMarina actually works. The iMarina platform is made up of a set of several functional modules, responsible for each specific task involved in the processes, and together with these modules, the services of iMarina's technical office are provided as support, which acts as a permanent consultancy that accompanies during the process, implementation and subsequent maintenance of the tool's evolution. The modules are accessible from the platform itself, some with public access and others authenticated. If we had to describe the specific tasks of the modules and components of iMarina, we could say that they outline all the important and necessary stages in the management of research. The first group of tasks would be associated with the stage that we could call obtaining the results of the research and teaching activity. How we are going to compile these collections and how we are going to relate them. More specifically, a first task would be to control the varied and dispersed origin of the results of the research activity. To do this, iMarina has a module, the so-called iCallit. iCallit is the collector of information. It is a connector, an importer, customized to a certain extent, capable of collecting the production wherever it is. Of course, compatible with multiple communication protocols, standards such as AI, PMH, CA 39.50. It has integrated almost all the most well-known APIs, with the most important sources. This also includes scrapping techniques and everything else that is necessary to be able to automate these additions. A second task of this stage of obtaining activity results would be to concentrate the results in a common structured model that allows us to treat and analyze them homogeneously. This task at iMarina is the responsibility of iBase. iBase is the database for the storage of all this information. A storage inspired by the reference models of the CVN 1.4 standards of the FICID or Serif 1.6 or compatible, of course, and also designed in the LAMS S version 1.0 standard. Another task, which can be considered the last of this first stage of obtaining results, would be the control of the researchers who produce or create the research results, together with the organic structures to which they are linked. In iMarina, iAgen is in charge of this. iAgen is the organizer of organizational structures. iAgen is the component that concentrates all the operations necessary for the registration, identification, control, and management of all the actors considered to be agents producing or owning scientific technical production. A second stage in the natural process of these specific information systems would be the organization, processing, and management of information. The tasks that we can find or identify, on the one hand, is the assignment of these results in a univocal way to producers and creators from the perspective of both research and teaching interests. And on the other hand, to be able to have tools that allow us to verify and accredit these results. To do this, iMarina has, on the one hand, two very fundamental modules. In fact, we could almost say that it is the core of CRIST itself within iMarina. We are referring to the researcher's curriculum manager and the teaching curriculum manager. In this case, we are talking about the ICON module and the IREA module. As a third stage in the processes of these systems, we could also describe in a natural way what would be the need to disseminate and use information, either for specific purposes. One of the tasks linked to this stage of dissemination and use of information would be the need to interoperate with external systems and agents in order to configure multiple expressions in the information outputs. These outlets have to be able to dialogue and operate in different scenarios and with different purposes, from public research portals through the generation of standardized curriculum vitae in accordance with standards, to documentation, justifying reports of different kinds. For this task, iMarina has the iReport module, which is the output generator. iReport is a functional module for the design and format of ad hoc outputs for the institution. Depending on the level of processing, these reports will range from simple CSV, JSON, Excel outputs to more standard formats such as Serif 1.6, CVNF 1.4, Big Test, RISC, XML, etc. That information will be in the detail that is needed at all times. Another module that would expand the capacity of these outputs would be the IWS module. It is the web service based on REST API technology of the iMarina server itself. It is a web service based on REST API technology that concentrates an endpoint collection capable of interrogating and retrieving information from the iBase database in JSON format in order to be able to integrate this information into other external web applications, institutional intranets, or other web tools. To complete and make tangible this task of interoperating with external agent systems, iMarina has the application of the research portal itself, iPublic. The iPublic is also an institutional portal for research and teaching. It is publicly accessible and configurable. It offers the possibility of accessing through a production search engine, a directory of researchers and organizational structures, offering access to personal walls, which are fully configurable, and with all the curricular information you want. Finally, as a specific task of this dissemination stage, we find the iMarina dashboard, which is concentrated in the Icon module. Icon allows you to analyze and evaluate the production results of the producing agents. And with that, a set of tools and instruments for the retrieval and exploitation of information based on technologies typical of editing support systems, DSS, online analytical processing such as OLAP, data mining, and data visualization techniques, information. As a last stage in what would be the natural and necessary process in the management of scientific information, it would be to have tools that facilitate us to evaluate the operational environment of the information system, in this case the iMarina system itself. As a specific task linked to this last stage, it would be possible to have the ability to communicate proactively by the system administrators. That is, it would be interesting to have an internal channel for the communications of the actors and users of the application. In this sense, iMarina has, with eNews, which is the internal communications channel, to accompany and help by providing consulting to the producing agents in the most complex processes so that they can help them make decisions in a monitored way in the use of the application itself. In this sense, it is to provide technical support for the system, and their iMarina has the eHelp module. eHelp is the ticket manager to provide support and help. Normally, it is the technical office of Invalida that provides this support, but also, in a delegated way, this task is often delegated to the administrators of each institution. And finally, it is no less necessary to be able to obtain statistical information on the internal uses of the application and the processes that are generated. In other words, the module in charge of this, in our case, is eLog. eLog is a set of operations that attempts to statistically see the usage and takes the traceability of all processes. Now I'd like to take a couple of minutes to tell you where we really are right now. We started in 2012. We are in 2023. We have been here for almost 11 years, and at this stage of the game we could say that we have, I think, more than 25 implementations. If we had to distribute them by region or geographical area, we would have to say that the vast majority, more than 76%, are in Catalonia, but also in autonomous communities such as Madrid, Andalusia, Valencia, Aragon. If we had to distribute these implementations by thematic areas or specialties, well, the fundamental sector is universities, but also the field of health. The field of health was almost our beginnings, and, in that sense, we have a lot of related research centers specialized in these areas, especially university hospitals and research institutes, but we also have other areas such as the center specialized in agri-food, in the area of physics, in the area of chemistry, and in the area of engineering. On the other hand, and to conclude, before saying goodbye, iMarina will continue with those philosophical principles of inspiration and the technological base that it already has in its own system to be able to continue giving the highest level of service to the institutions that already trust us, and we will try to expand. We will have to expand other sectors of other specialties, other universities, offering our level of adaptation, of empathy with the already existing processes, and being able to help with our knowledge, our expertise, and our technology wherever they give us the opportunity. Nothing else. Thank you.